What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Turnbuster65 back up in here with the post commentary for today. Currently June. It's June 3rd, baby. Yeah, June 2nd. What am I doing? I'm tripping. June 1st was yesterday, which I recorded episode 1 with the post commentary. Now today is June 2nd. It's a nice day out so far. A little bit in the afternoon. The construction people in my apartment complex just got done with, I don't know, I haven't really checked yet. They might have worked on the balcony, put in the temporary stairs, because if you were in the last episode, you would have heard that I was talking about them doing the stairs from our apartment complex all around for the past 3-4 months, basically since the start of this year. And I'm not gonna lie, I like it over here. Me personally, I would keep just some of the unpainted wood unpainted so it could have that fresh wood look, and then the white steps, but I'm certain they want it all white so it looks clean. For me, well, I don't know, if you're going to an all black complex in comparison to an all white complex, you probably like the all white complex more, because white, unless you're a fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh series, is synonymous with clean, purity, and black is symbolism for dirty, impure, tainted, just basically yin versus yang, if you understand me. So yeah, pretty much if you go to an all black apartment complex, you're thinking you're gonna go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show or the Addams Family's crib, so that's why it's all white. But enough about some subtle racism or stereotypes. Let's just hop right into the gameplay over here. It's day 3. As you saw, I bought I might have bought the beach ball last episode. Now I'm equipping it, but I think I also bought the vegetable gun and made a couple upgrades. I really wasn't paying attention to my past stuff, and I'm not going to rewind just so I can re-record this part and pay attention to my last self. You getting this all uncut, 1, maybe 2, at worst 3 takes of me on the mic. So what am I going to ramble about today? I don't know. Maybe I'll focus on the game first. But as you see right there, I as much as I was building kind of blocks over here, I was also getting lucky. But I was understanding better. I was getting a better understanding of how to mix blocks together. Slightly. Also, I was understanding more about how the specials work, because before I was just kind of spamming. I saw right there, I learned, okay, the dragons, yeah, they go from an extended range, and if they're powered up, they shoot larger fireballs at a slower rate. But if they're not powered up, then they shoot smaller fireballs at a quicker spread. So, and then of course the ice just jizzes out on the people, and the special is just a rain of jizz. That's basically the best way to sum the blizzard powers. As you see right there, it's squirting it over here with the love of, I don't know why I was gonna say Easter, Christmas. Maybe because we're into the spring summer vibe over here, not necessarily into fall winter time of the year yet. I mean, to be honest, it's an early summer where I am. I reside down the East Coast, USA, not shy to say that, baby. And so pretty much seeing these beach balls over here fits nicely with the theme of the current time period of the year. So yeah, well, you want to think about this from a Chinese perspective. You got the elements of the seasons. The dragon representing what, winter? Well, the dragon and the snow globe representing winter. The beach ball representing summer. Maybe the dragon represents spring to a certain extent, but for me the dragon is kind of that rebirth of plants, which fits the March atmosphere. So winter, spring, that sort of thing. And the dragon is supposed to represent summer, then forgive me. Apologies for my, I guess, prejudice outtake there. But anyway, you saw right there, I got a little better. I got a little bit better at how to form cubes, and then you'll see it later in this episode. I didn't exactly hit that mark over there. And not gonna lie, when I saw this at first, I thought I failed. The success and the failure, it's hard to tell sometimes, because it came as a surprise to me. So I wondered, so I had a feeling here the days were easier, the easiest part. The new was the medium, and then the hard was the dusk or night. Okay, the night. So I don't know, sometimes you get noon or day, sometimes you get dusk or noon, and then sometimes you get dusk or night. Either way, there's 3 levels between each day. No, this is called day 1, day 2, so it's noon, dusk, and night. I'm stupid. Don't worry about me making my just revelation of how stupid I am. It's a common theme in this channel, if you paid attention to any of my videos. Oh my goodness. Imagine getting crushed by that. And technically this is a ghost Viking? Is that supposed to be a dog ghost Viking or just a ghost Viking? And if so, which Viking is that? I'm probably gonna guess that's Leif Erikson right there. Or he's supposed to be the ghost of Leif Erikson. If you know, you know, baby. Oof. I can't help but look at that Grim Reaper cosplay from Sam's back there. And just every time reading that as either Necro or Negro. I like the comedy of this game. Oh, you saw that little double? You saw that double I pulled off right there? Unfortunately, I was trying to get more greedy with the beach balls. You saw I wanted to get the 3 so I could make it to a 3x3, but then time was winding down, yeah, so I just put it in there. You're gonna see me do that sometimes and question my slightly past self. To be honest with you, I recorded this gameplay 3 days ago, before the construction people started work. So, well, it was in the same day that, actually that day itself, it was Monday, where I was moving stuff over here, and then, no, Monday night, because I had to move the tables and chairs from my balcony. My mom would have helped if she didn't have to go to the hospital to attend my grandmother, who Sunday night had a fall, or Sunday morning, no, I think it was Monday morning. She had a fall, so she was in the hospital. My mom went over to the hospital with her. The reason why I didn't go is, one, I had work later in the day, so I still could have seen her, but I wanted to clear out the tables and chairs, which, trust me, with clearing out the tables and chairs a little bit harder because, well, we had to clear out the balcony because we had to get our stairs replaced. And why we didn't do it earlier than Monday? Convenience. That's basically the answer for that. So, but just generally, just saying here that, yeah, so long story short, I stayed because I had to chill out the tables and chairs. I had to figure out what to put in. So I put the table, I disassembled the table, the legs, I put it in the shed. The chairs I just kind of left out in the porch area, which then my mom came home later and put in some things, put some cloth around on the floor so she can lay them out there so the outside stuff on the balcony didn't touch the carpet, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's why I didn't go see her, and I still haven't seen her over here. I start my shifts at 2:30, even though I'm not labeled till 2:45, but I want to get there early because the earlier you get there, the more pay you get. Plus, me getting there early also helps me to prepare for the day more, and goes for a smoother transition between the morning person and me, the afternoon/closing person. And then on some days we have a mid-shift person. So yeah, basically why I did that over here. There we go. We got going on to day 3 of the nighttime, maybe. But to continue on with this, yeah, Monday, my birthday with my grandmother. I'm not sure if she had a mild heart attack, but I think she just passed out from dehydration, that sort of thing. So yeah, she's home today. Well, she went home yesterday evening, She was in a hospital for the past few days, and I definitely plan to go see her sometime. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow or Saturday, but I do want to plan to go see her and make sure she's doing all right, because, well, to tell you the truth, I would have felt bad. Well, I really felt bad if she died, because I would have felt bad regardless, because she's my grandmother and she's been a huge part of my life, let alone my childhood. At least on my mom's side. My dad's side, not so much, and that's just because I didn't see my dad's side of family much, minus family reunions and such. But my mom's side, I saw my grandmother. At one point, I saw my grandmother on a near daily basis for periods of my life. So, at least a weekly, bi-weekly basis. So, a weekly, yeah. Pretty much, I saw my grandmother. She was played a big role in my life. And 3 weeks ago, well, on Mother's Day, I did something terrible to her. So Sundays are generally the days where me and my mom spend time together through an activity, or I just call it hair day because, well, I don't necessarily wash my hair every day because I got an oily scalp. So if I wash my hair, eventually my hair is going to get dried out. Plus, I got seborrheic dermatitis, which is basically a bad case of dandruff, to dumb it down. So I got medicated shampoo and then a couple other medications go with it. No pills, it's mainly liquid, like the ketoconazole, clobetasol, and then there's a cream form, which the liquid I mix in with T-Cell, and also basically I've been having to rub on my head for the past 7-8 years now. Jesus, it's been a while. I'm 22 now, and we started doing that combo since I was 14. Or no, at least the keto and the T-Cell I was doing at 14. The T-Cell has been in my head since what, 10, 11? Yeah, so the T-Cell has been at least with me for over a decade, but the ketoconazole didn't come in until later, and what the dermatologist recommended, and then the clobetasol came in about several months afterwards, and that's what's been the biggest help on my head in terms of the dandruff. The clobetasol is to control the dandruff. The ketoconazole is to help with bumps. It's mainly to treat bumps and some of the itchiness, and then the T-Cell is also there to control with some of the itchiness. I say my hair generally gets itchy about 2 days afterwards. It's kind of easy to ignore, but sometimes, like right now, I'm digging in the middle of my cornrows, the itchy part of my head, and then in my ear right now. That's where it's itchy at. So yeah, it's a bearable itch though. I've gotten adjusted to it for years now. I'm 22. I've been dealing with this itch since I was very small. I want to say, 5 years old, 6 years old. I've been dealing with dandruff pretty much my whole life. It's the same way people deal with diabetes or deal with, well, not in the same way necessarily, but to give it something to relate to is how people deal with chronic issues. You deal with it. You incorporate it into your normal routine and treat it as if having a finger, a foot, or whatever appendage you have in your body. You treat it the same you would a body part, you would a child, you would a husband or spouse, excuse me. Basically a normal part of your life. For me, I don't know. I definitely prefer having dandruff over than, let's say, having bad acne, because I've only ever had a few pimples in my life. I think I've had more. Oh, I definitely had more nuts than I've had pimples in my life. But yeah, I didn't have any pimples. The most I ever had on my face at one period was 2. And I want to say the most amount of pimples I ever had was about 20, maybe 25. And that's just the span between 10 and 16, 17. Can't exactly remember it now, but I use proactive a little bit, and I stopped using proactive basically when I didn't have pickles. So there we go. Also, you see it right there. Look at that. You saw what I was trying to do? I mentally got it. I realized over here, over an hour in, I got how to build blocks. But you'll see later on, even with the block recipe, I learned that in certain situations where you got this big block going, that you can't create anything else, you have to set it aside. But when you do got something, yeah, I was trying to get the dragons, and all I was getting was the fork. I was getting the vegetable gun, but I couldn't get dragon. I couldn't match dragon. And yeah, this king, this I don't know what to call this, Mirror Knight was a joke. I mean, spoiler alert, I lost over here, but after I lost, I basically swept the floor with them. Shoot. I tasted a reflection of his defeat and accidentally got lost in the mirage before I realized it was just a mere reflection. Plus, the fork special is OP. The fork special is OP. You time it right, you can negate any damage. The fork special is the best special in this game by far. I do not care. Blocking damage, blocking massive damage. The only thing that it doesn't block, which I learned later on, well, I won't spoil either, so I'll shut up about it. The fork basically blocks almost anything. See, I get worried because that little hurrah he does right there, it's a prompt for either him doing his little, we'll just call it beam wave there, slash wave rather. And sometimes he does a little fake out. He does one before he does a slash. And sometimes he does one, yeah, look at that, boom. I put the fork right there, blocks the slash wave. It's OP. But to get back on my point about my hair, yeah, basically we're dealing with it. Sorry about that, I had to go and scratch an itch on my left ear, which is where the microphone is on my headset, so I had to pause, scratch my head, resume the recording, and then get back to this over here. Why didn't I go record that, cut it out, and then slide it back? Well, because I didn't want to do that, and plus it would ruin how I would do this in Share Factory. But enough about my first world problems. Let's get on to another topic. But I've been talking about my hair a lot. I don't know. Maybe should I make the theme about hair? Screw it. We'll make it about hair. I don't know. I guess moving on from my own hair, my hairstyle. Well, I lied. Moving back on to myself. My hairstyle is right now cornrows. There's a period of time where I'd rock just not a buzz cut necessarily, but a low top. Basically, I'll get my hair trimmed to, or I want to say shaved down, not bald shaved, but basically just have it all off every 2-3 weeks. And when I was living at an old apartment complex, my mom and dad were still together. We had a neighbor who sometimes went, well, mainly my neighbor was my barber majority of the time, period, from I want to say when I was 6 to 10 years old, which is just before the move. So the last time I cut my hair was basically I wanted to get a flat top, and he just had to cut it all down. I was so disappointed I didn't say anything. That was the last time I seen him. Looking back at it now, I don't necessarily blame him. I don't. I was what, 9 when that happened? I said 10, did I? No, I was 9. I was technically 9. Yeah, I think it was late 2009. I remember it was for my birthday cut. I don't know. 2009 was a little bit of a bad year for me. Just remember it now. I don't know, my 9th birthday was my worst birthday to date because one, it was me and the cousin that, not a cousin, well, yeah, it's the cousin I least like. I'm saying it right here. Not gonna name him, not gonna say anything, but it was basically me and him. And we did some games together. But basically, it was just a sour grape over here. Ruined my birthday. The only bright side to it was the birthday cake. Or cookie, which my mom baked. Because I had an idea I wanted to do a birthday cake as a cookie, and she baked it over there, which were signs of my mom's early brilliance of baking. It's too bad that she wouldn't fully tap into it until much later in her life. Cough, cough, 2020. But for the time, I do commend my mom for doing that, because she took two things and basically merged it into one. I think she ever went on a baking show, she could have possibly won or gotten some good exposure for it. Would she win one now? Depends. Not to say my mom doesn't make any bomb desserts or bakeries. I want to say pastries, but she doesn't really do pastries. The most amount she does pastry-wise, I would say, would be cakes. But in terms of donuts, crepes, and that sort of thing, no. Her thing is mainly cupcakes. Well, brownies, cookies, and then cupcakes on certain occasions. That's what her baking expertise is limited to there. Not to say she isn't knowledgeable in other aspects of baking, such as with cakes, especially with pineapple upside down cake and that sort of thing. But her main things are cookies, brownies, and cupcakes. Which I don't know, almost every older woman should know how to do at this point, at that point in her life. She kind of been doing a little bit with gourmet brownies though, because she has the chocolate chip, and then she does Oreo brownies. She has these Oreo brownies where she adds a little bit caramel, however you want to pronounce that word. There's different pronunciations here in the South, the North, and universally. And then she has these. She has peanut butter cookies. She has oatmeal raisins, chocolate chip, that sort of thing. She's also done apple, pumpkin cupcakes. She's also done cupcakes with a little bit of alcohol infused into them. Mainly with the apples just soaked in rum and then before being baked. That's about it. You really can't get alcohol into baking without tasting the rum. You have to incorporate a way. I think it's a great way, is to soak the alcohol. The apples in alcohol. Jesus Christ. Sounded like I had some alcohol earlier today. I swear, I'm sober right now. But speaking of alcohol, I do have to watch myself. Without revealing too much about where I work at, my job involves alcohol, and it has been my go-to in terms of experimenting with liquor. Well, I'm 22 years old. I turned 22 a few months ago. And at 21, the most experience I ever had with alcohol was with those cupcakes I mentioned earlier. So yeah, my knowledge limit on alcohol is minuscule in comparison to avid drinkers or experienced people, or people who experience liquor. I never had rum, I never had a margarita, I never had Jaeger, I never had ale, I never had beer yet. All I've had is wine, and that's about it. Oh yeah, and jello shots. I always had jello shots. My mom makes jello shots, there you go. My mom uses 99 proofs, which is a strong little substance right over there, yeah. A little strong over here. That's why them jello shots taste so great, and also a little heavy, baby. Oof. So yeah, the first amount of alcohol I've truly experienced was in a jello shot. Then when I started working at the place I'm working at now, I started experimenting with different sorts of alcohols. Mainly wine for now, but I feel that'll translate to something else given time. And I think for myself, I've told myself when I was 20 that if I was ever to do alcohol, I would go into wine. Funny enough, my views on alcohol have changed over the years. At first, I didn't want to deal anything with it. Same thing with smoking. Then when I get a couple years before I'm legal about to, I started thinking, well, maybe I want to do just wine. And right now, I've stuck to that. Oh yeah, also I lost over there. I knew I was going to lose because I was low in health, so that's why you see that little quickness right there. I basically just mashed the button. I was trying to get over to the fork so I can block it, but I didn't. So there you go. I could have made that to a bigger block, but I didn't. Oh well. Would have made a difference anyway. So, whew. This is supposed to be a topic about hair, and now I've gone from hair to alcohol, which I guess isn't that big of a tangent per se. What the fuck looks so goofy? Jesus. Look over. It looked like it'd be cousins with that cloud over there. I apologize if you ever hear me have a pause as if I'm going to say something, but I don't. Because normally I would pause just to allow myself to flow in a conversation, but whenever I talk fast or even in a normal speed sometimes, I'm going to say something, and then I stop myself because I don't know what the word I'm going to say. I'm just preventing myself from saying noise, but it feels awkward. It's also just me preventing myself from saying things such as and like, no, kind of. Just like, boom, the majority of American speech. I'm certain it's prevalent in other countries of the world, mainly English-speaking countries such as Great Britain, New Zealand, the majority of Australia, the vast majority of Australia, be that. But here in America, like and are the two prevalent. Well, like is the most common used and overused word in the English language here. You'll hear people say like, a definition of it in the use of a simile. I wanted to put a word there. I don't know. Let me just say it again. People use like in the terms of a simile, as I just used it. However, people also use like as a conjunction, the same way you will use but for, nor, or, but for, nor, yet. I know I'm missing a couple conjunctions there. I don't know. Conjunction, junction, what's your functions? Adverbs and phrases and nouns and functions. I don't know. Sorry. But yeah, people use like for conjunction for some reason. Like I was going to the mall and like I was like trying to see like if this girl was like interested in me, but like she didn't say anything back when I like went up to her. So me and her, like that sort of thing. You get what I'm saying there? Also, you get what I'm saying. That's another thing, but it's not as obnoxious, honestly. I can get, you know what I'm saying, or you know, or you understand. I can get fine with that because, well, even that is still a little overused. But in terms of like is such an overused word. I mean, why do I have an issue with it? Why do I have a big issue with the word like? Well, it's because of a public speaking course. Yeah, I know, public speaking. Oh, there you go. I said, you know. Anyway, yeah, my public speaking teacher, who was a great public speaking teacher in terms of that, was, oh my lord, don't talk. Hi, I'm back over here. It's actually elapsed several days since I did this post commentary, so I'm not even sure what wavelength of talk now I'm remembering. I think I was talking about stuff, obviously, because that's what we do over here. But yeah, this is at least a week and some change later from the day I was recording this for construction. I believe it was June 2nd. Today is now June 11th. So yeah, 9 days have passed since I last did any post commentary. So why did it take that long? Well, first off, work. Second thing is just well, life and then just school stuff that I wanted to attend to, which actually I was taking a class for the summer. I did have plans for it, but after just less than a week of doing the work in there, I figured out that summer school isn't for me. Because summer classes, well, I'm talking for college. I'm not talking about for high school, middle school, elementary school, that sort of thing. For in terms of college, well, summer school in general, you're gonna have to do more work in less of a time period than you would per se in a fall or spring semester. So in terms of why it's not for me, well, first off, I decided to take an international business course, and I need to take either that or I forgot, but it's another economic course that I need to take to finish up my associate's degree. I decided to take the international business course because, well, one, at the time I was trying to roll to online classes for the summer, apparently I was a little bit late, and two, the other course when I saw was available to enroll in, it already started. I didn't want to fall behind, blah 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 blah. So I took the international business course. Long story short, the first thing it gets me into is I gotta do a research project of Poland and find out things related to it, such as the property ownership, the labor allocation, and just in general, mainly figure out which kind of economy it was, but do it in a research format where I had to go find sources for it, where I had to rank it based off of a 1 to 5, where 1 was a free market, 1 was a command market, and now I better understand those terms because 1 is mainly in reference to private and 1 is in reference to public. That's about the best way to sum it up. In a free market, it's a market where it allows for basically anyone to make an opportunity and to make a paycheck over here without or little government restrictions involved or government involvement. And a command market is something that is more structured to process the economy of how the government sees it. So basically, 1 is government involvement, the other one's not government involvement, which a communist economy, for example, is one that is be a command economy, and a laissez-faire economy will be a free market economy, that sort of thing. So Poland, from based on what I saw, I gave up on the project, but based on what I saw, Poland it seemed to be leaning more towards being a command market. And I had to look into reports, and I saw things such as they had these things about surveys. Basically, it was a command economy. It's boring. I'm not gonna explain it over here because all the stuff was boring about it. It's interesting in a political / economic viewpoint. In terms of an in general interest, not really. I'm pretty sure it'd be even less interesting to the people in Poland to figure out where they rank amongst countries and regions such as Trinidad and Tobago, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Azerbaijan, Hungary, Austria, those sort of things. Also, that online business course did help me in one thing though. It found me a cool little website where it can help me study where basically countries and nations are in the world. I mean, it's sort in terms of North America. I know what countries are in North America. Obviously, Canada, United States, Mexico. That's about it. And then there's freaking Hawaii to the left side. There's freaking U.S. Virgin Islands and Cuba down below, but that's all considered more so, let's say, Central America. Well, the U.S. Virgin Islands is part of the U.S. territory, so that's North America. But, you know, some of those other islands and stuff that's considered Central America and South America, that sort of thing. Which I had to relearn some, because I knew where Argentina and Chile are because they touch each other. Chile is the skinnier version of Argentina. That's the best way to summarize that. And I remember Paraguay, Uruguay are next to each other, kind of. Or at least within that family down below there. Brazil is the largest country in South America. If you don't know where Brazil is, then you are estúpido or estúpida if you are un femenina. So yeah, I'm flexing a little bit of my Spanish there. Don't mind me. Yeah, basically I'm just learning about other regions of the world there. I wish that was the course, if I would just learn about other regions and then, I don't know. Maybe in a normal intro to international business course, we get a little bit more time to study into those things. Although it'll probably involve more assignments due to that as well. Because if it was those same assignments of modules, but spread in a 14 to 16 week course, I would have less of an issue with it. I wouldn't say I have an issue with it, but I would have less of an issue with it than I would here. And I'm not even sure why I've paused for this long, but I'm just gonna cut this part out over here. Maybe I had to beat my meat. Maybe I had to go check on my mother. Maybe it was just too much construction going on. I'm not sure why it's paused for. Yeah, I don't know. I should have skipped by now. I most likely have. So yeah. Anyway. Whew. Let me say what I'm planning to do. So what I plan to do is enroll in at least a course for the fall semester, the fall semester, which starts in 2 months from now. It generally starts, I want to say, in the 3rd or 4th week of August, so I'll be able to do it from there. And then what I'm gonna do from there is plan to take two more courses. I'm trying to get my freaking this degree down. But what I'm also gonna do is enroll in some VA benefits, because my father is 100% VA disabled. And what that essentially means is, in terms of medical bills, in terms of medicine, whatever medical related things he wants to do, he's 100% paid off on that. Doesn't have to pay any dime in that sort of way. There's also school. If he needs to go back to school, the government will take care of that 100%. And then in terms of his children that are 23 and younger, can also reap the rewards from his benefits. That was what was me and my sister doing for, well, my late sister now, unfortunately. Yeah, she passed a couple of weeks ago now. It's very sad. She was my youngest sister. Even though I'm the youngest of my siblings, she was my youngest sister. Ooh, yeah. No, I kind of completely forgot about that. It's sad to say. I don't know. When it comes to me and death, I'm not one to be overall affected by it emotionally and mentally. I would say in the current stage of my life, the only deaths that would really move me would be the death of my mother and the death of my father to some degree. I would also constitute the death of my grandmother being up there as well, but nothing would come as heartbreaking as the death of my mom. I mean, she's got to deal with me. She still currently deals with me today. Now I'm not lying about that, but I don't know what I would do mainly if I didn't have a mom, because I'm not much of a cook. I'm not much of one to do household chores. I mean, right now I'm currently doing laundry, which I need to get back into the room and put the freaking fabric softener in soon in the washing machine. And I need to pull out some clothes from the dryer, because they should be done about, no, they got about 10 more minutes, so I'm good on that regard. But yeah, I don't know what I would do without my mom. But I digress from that. I was talking about, what was I talking about? Yeah, my plans for school. So yeah, my plans for school, basically roll into a class in the fall time, which is a couple months from now. I know, technically fall's in September, but the semester starts in August. It's a little bit confusing. And if it would go past, what, December 25th or something like that, it would be considered a winter semester. I don't know. The fall semester starts in August, and then the spring semester starts in January. You go ask me how any of that makes sense. But yeah. And then the summer semester starts in May. Or depending on what it is. I can start in May, and then some courses, which is the second week, starts in June. So I guess that'll make more sense. But still, it's weird how there's not a winter semester, quote unquote. The only part that would exist in would be in, well, high school and middle school, if you would consider that little, what, 12-week period, because, let's see, college courses, they start in August. And then high school, middle school courses tend to start, well, they start after the first Monday past, the first Tuesday past Labor Day, which is the first Monday of September, if I'm correct, right? No. Labor Day is September 1st. So it would start, no. Is Labor Day the first Monday of September, or is it the first day of September? I'm stupid for asking that, but I legitimately, is it really? Hold on. Okay, where's my freaking phone? I'm gonna go ahead and freaking Google this. No, I'm gonna Google this. I'm gonna Google Labor Day. I can't believe I had to do this. I'm literally Googling when does Labor Day start. I want to ask Google, but I don't want freaking Google to go into my phone and y'all just hear that from Google. So, when is Labor? Monday, September 5th. Okay, so it is the first Monday of September. All right, there you go. My question is answered. Funnily enough, I have a family member whose birthday is the 1st of September, and given the specific year, their birthday will fall on the same day as Labor Day. So there you go. But, okay. I'm glad to freaking, I don't know if that's a debunking or, I just answered my own question there about Labor Day. Anyway, sure. It seems I've made some progress, or I haven't made some progress on this level. I don't know. Did I die? I probably died. Oh, well, no. I took a long break period. So I probably have passed this puzzle by the time I'm I love how I didn't exactly edit the freaking pause out to see where I would be at this point over here. I'm gonna be so delayed, but anyway. Oh well. It's probably gonna be an episode right here. If not, then I'll just go ahead and do the outro real quick after the part. So